I know you guys haven't seen my face in a minute now, so hey, y'all like the hair now? It's giving bad, bitch. It's giving bad, bitch. It's giving sexy. If you guys can see me dancing, hold on, I want to dance for y'all. It's giving sexy. It's giving sexy. It's getting sexy. Sorry, y'all. But hi. For those that don't know me, hi, my name is Sade the Storyteller, aka the baddest. Period. If you're new, hi, how are you? I already said that. But if you're returning, hi, welcome to the family. Hi, where have you been? Don't ask me where I've been. Where have you been? Okay. So, welcome. I do apologize because I just wanted to make sure that my content is quality, not like shit, if that makes sense. So welcome. And let me do a little quick life update before I get into the episode. So I just feel like my head's been everywhere. I feel like because I'm on this healing journey, I've learned so much about myself. And I'm proud of myself for how I've handled certain situations that have occurred in my life. I feel like God has really been showing me, praise God, honestly. Without God, I wouldn't have seen these things happening. Of course, when your mind, body and soul is aligned, you kind of see things for what it is. So I've been just in a weird headspace, but I'm acknowledging it, I'm accepting it, and I'm moving forward. I have been a little bit sad these weeks due to just past endeavors. I don't really like to think about the past because I just think the past is so sad for me, and it's like I don't want to think of sad memories. I'd rather just kind of move forward and make new ones and happy memories and with people that actually make me feel good. Shout out to my friend Chanel, because honestly, if I didn't meet her, I just feel like who would I really be talking to? Who would really be giving me words of affirmation and lifting me up and just kind of, what I've realized about our friendship as well, she's kind of made me want to get into my faith more, because she goes to church, she studies the Bible and apply it to day-to-day life, and I feel like I needed her in my life. Like God put her in my life to kind of show me that, okay, now that I need to kind of push myself forward to as I move forward in my journey in faith, and kind of just accept and just allow myself to be more deep into it, because I did say I was at the beginning, but now I feel like I want to be more deep into it and put my toes into it more and stuff. So shout out to Chanel, because honestly she's been a really good friend, and I thank God every day that I've encountered her and our friendship is the way it is. And bitch, you ain't leaving me. That's on period. She ain't leaving me. That's on period. I have to give people that really do warm my heart a shout out. So shout out to her. If I could add a picture of her, shout out to her. Anyway, so on this episode, I'm gonna call this, this is a movie analysis series. I'm gonna do a little series because I did do Adventure Time. So this time I'm doing The Boy and The Heron. Period. I watched the movie and I felt like I wasn't really watching it properly because I was getting a little bit confused in terms of like some of the characters and what's really going on and stuff. So I decided to do my own research and analysis. So of course, if you go on YouTube, you see people do it in a different way. So I decided to kind of do it in my way, because my podcast is about mental health and some other things. So I wanted to kind of cater it to mental health. So so for those that haven't watched The Boy and The Heron, I'm going to break it down to you now. So the movie starts off with our protagonist, Mahito. I hope I'm saying it right. Mahito. He is a 12-year-old boy who is struggling in a new town after the death of his mother, who passed away in a fire accident. So I'm gonna attach a scene where he's running through the fire. Amazing animation, honestly, amazing animation. Shout out to Miyazaki. Miyazaki. Sorry guys, please don't shoot me. I don't know how to say the man's name, but shout out to him because the animation was good. I'm going to talk about some references that I've noticed in the movie at the end. So yeah, so I'm going to attach that scene where he's running through the fire. Yeah, his mom died in the hospital was on fire, so fire accident. Shoichi, Mahito's father, and Mahito moved to Japan. So the war is set in World War III. So I think 3 years after the war, his father and him took him to Japan. So whilst they arrived in Japan, they were greeted by Shoichi's new wife, who happens to be Mahito's auntie. So pause. When I was watching the movie, I was getting really confused because the girl, her name is Natsuko, was saying sister, big sis, and I'm like, maybe it's a Japanese thing where they call people big sis or sister. Please make it make sense, Sharon. Maybe because, you know, in African culture, that may not be my blood auntie, but I'm calling them auntie or my sister. So I thought maybe that applied to Japanese culture, but no, in actuality, that was her sister. So maybe back then, that's like a thing that they used to do, but I'll explain further. So it says, sources say, I looked on Wikipedia and some other websites too, they said that Shoichi married Natsuko because he believes she would care for Mahito better than an outsider, and also wanted the family's wealth within the family because he owned a warehouse like a big company or something. Like they came from money in it. So yeah, so that's what he wants to do. So I feel like shout out to him because I guess he's doing what's best for his son, and he wanted his son to get all the nurture in the world. So shout out to him for being a good dad. Moving forward, whilst Mahito is getting acquainted with Natsuko, she makes a statement, I'm going to be your new mom, okay? She also proceeds to tell Mahito that he's going to be having a brother or a baby sister. In my head, when she said, I'm going to be your new mother, I kind of saw it as insensitive because he is a boy that's grieving his mother, because there is scenes where he's in bed and he's crying, saying mother, mother. So I feel like he hasn't taken the death of his mother well. I know that's his mother's sister, but I just felt like it's a little bit insensitive to say I'm going to be your new mum, if that makes sense. But I feel like Natsuko, because that's her sister who died as well, I feel like she felt like it was an obligation for her to make sure that she can be the new nurturer for Mahito and be a fill-in mother to make sure that he is loved all around. So I felt like that's why she said that, like, I'm going to be your new mom, because he is going to have a sibling by her, so mother, I guess. So yeah, fast forward now, Mahito encounters a grey heron a couple times throughout the movie. So I never knew what a grey heron was, but I'm going to attach a picture of the grey heron, because that grey heron, yeah, what bit scared me is like how it started transforming, looking like a man bird. I'm going to put a little picture there, like a man bird. So yeah, so when he was walking through the mansion, the grey heron appeared there. So there's so many scenes where the grey heron kind of follows Mahito. So yeah, whilst he was seeing all the grey heron, only there was one time where he actually acknowledged the heron properly, and the heron stated that Mahito's mother was alive. So he kind of was taunting him, and he got offended by that, because like, how dare you, like, my mother's dead, how can you tell me she's alive? But I don't want to spoil the movie. I want you guys to actually watch it and, you know, get your own interpretation of the movie, so I don't want to spoil it. So I believe that the heron is an important character, as the bird shows how we can embody friendship and opposition, mirroring the complexity of the real world. Okay, so that is the breakdown of the movie. I want to give my thoughts on the movie before I move on to my second bit of the movie. So if you are a Ghibli fan, that's me right there. If you are a Ghibli fan, you should watch the movie, because I'm not trying to spoil it, but I am. So there's this grand uncle, he had 13 pillars. 13 pillars symbolizes the 13 movies that Miyazaki released. And if you watch the movie very closely, you can see that he made references of each movie within that movie. It took them about, I believe he said it was 7 or 6 years to make. And just to give you more context, the movie is basically about Miyazaki when he was a kid, because he was born around World War Three, I believe. So it's kind of his, people are saying that that's his like last movie, so he's doing like a farewell and basically acknowledging all the work that he's done in the movie. I really do think it's a really good movie, from the animation, referencing House Castle, My Neighbor Totoro, Only Yesterday. There's a lot of movies, let me think. There's a lot of movies, I don't know names, but my favorite movie is not only yesterday. House Castle is my like top 10. No, top one. Number one. House Castle is my favorite movie. But he made a lot of references of the movies that he's created. So shout out to him, because I was watching it like normally, but when I watched it again, I can kind of see the references, like don't want to spoil it, but spoiler alert. The younger version of the mother, she was like fiery, if that makes sense. And it just reminded me of Calcifer. I'll add a picture if you don't know who Calcifer is. And he's like a fire demon, he's actually Hal's heart. And he's the heart that holds the castle, House Castle. So if that heart is removed from where Hal placed him, the castle will fall down. Sorry, spoiler. Watch the movie, chat. Watch the movie. So, on to my second segment, which is, what did I learn from the movie? So, there's a scene where, trigger warning, I don't want to offend anyone that's, gone through self-harm. I've been through it myself, so I can understand. I'm trying my best not to trigger anyone, so I do apologize. If you want to skip this part, you are more than welcome to, but I'll do it in a way that's not triggering, if that makes sense. So, do apologize if I'm looking down, because I am reading from a script, but I will add pictures so you can kind of get what I'm talking about. So there is a scene where Mahito inflicts harm to himself. Like I said, warning, I do apologize. So let me explain why he did that, because when I saw that, it kind of made me feel like, you're just a baby, why are you doing that to yourself? So Mahito was not fitting in school, which resulted in him getting bullied, which frustrated him. So Mahito self-harmed himself. So he picked up a rock and he hit his head, and blood was coming down. So he did that because it was an outlet for him to express his emotions. He blamed himself for being in his current situation of grief. He was going through it alone. Because what I noticed is that I feel like everybody in that movie was dealing with grief in their own way, and because he was a boy, like the youngest, I feel like he didn't know how to deal with it. As in, I didn't see him speak about it. Like, they didn't speak about it. Him and his father didn't speak about it, sorry, and the sister didn't really speak about it. It's just more so the new mother, was making sure that he knew that, I know your mother is gone, but I want to be that filling mother for you. I want to make sure that you are well loved and nurtured. So that's why she made the reference, I'm going to be your new mother. And she was expecting a baby by Shoichi. So I do feel like she did add pressure. She had added pressure for herself to be the best mother that she can be. Because she did say that, I think she said that she is trying to do her best big sister. I will add a scene where she says the bit, because I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I feel like it makes me sad, because I feel like at the age of 12, like, you're carrying so much pain and suffering, and he chose not to disclose this information, maybe because that the father was grieving in his own way. So I feel like I said, everyone is grieving in their own way, and I feel like he didn't want to be a burden to his father, because that's his father's wife. So I guess like, say for example, God forbid my partner dies, I'll grieve him in a way that my child wouldn't grieve them, because my child saw them as a father, but I saw them as a lover. And I feel like the dad remarried his late wife's sister to fill that void, as she resembled his late wife a lot because they're sisters. And in the movie, the housemaids, I'm not sure what they are, housemaid, or I'm gonna call them grannies. The grannies were like, oh, she looks so much as I'm not sure what the mother's name, but she looks so much like the late mother. Even Mahito said she looks like mother. So I feel like the father remarried her because she resembled her so much, so he wants that to keep that piece of her, if that makes sense. So yeah, I feel like, okay, so when Mahito enters the tower, he encounters a younger version of his mother, which changes his perception of grief. He chooses to face it head on to allow himself to get closure. I also believe he goes into the tower to save Natsuko from her own grief and loneliness. She wanted to make her sister proud and try to be the best mother for Mahito. I feel like she was putting much more pressure on herself to be the perfect mother, because there's a scene where she's like, I think she's like, you don't even like me, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And then I see that he starts to acknowledge her and starts calling her mother, because I feel like in his head he kind of like, you know what, because I don't feel like he said he hated her. It's just because he was grieving his mum, and it's like, no one can really take my mother's place. Like, you can say you're my new mother, but you're never going to be her, if that makes sense to say it in the nicest way. Like, you're never going to be her. God forbid my mother dies, like, and another woman's telling me I can be your new mother. You're never going to be my mother. You can be the fill-in, yeah, but you're never going to be my mother. So I can understand where he was coming from if he's being standoffish. I feel like she kind of had to just be patient and allow him to go to you instead of forcing this narrative of, I'm going to be your new mother. I just feel like, you know, it's a little bit insensitive for the little baby. I call him a baby because he's 12. So, to conclude, I have a conclusion. So, the film uses a lot of metaphors and context to give a clear picture of how powerful and symbolic grief and mental illness really is. The story serves as a life lesson, but also serves as an autobiography of the creator Miyazaki. Like I said, it's to do with his upbringing and how he grew up, in the twilight of his life. So I have a quote that I saw this girl write an article, and I just really like this bit, so I wanted to add it in. So it says, grief is, but I changed up the words because I didn't want to do it copy. Anyway, so grief is not something to be ashamed of or shy away from. You can find beauty, and it can be ugly. It can be an ugly thing when walking on your path of healing. Not everything will serve you, but you will make the most of life if you can acknowledge and keep walking. So I feel like what it means, because when it comes to grief, I can't really talk about grief because I haven't been through it, but I can only talk from what I've kind of seen growing up, because I've had people pass. So I feel like you kind of have to acknowledge they're gone and just learn how to never forget them, ensure that their memory lives on, but just ensure that you're looking after yourself and allow yourself to heal. And that's the thing about, I feel like, with mental health and with grief, it kind of not fall in hand to hand, but if you want to kind of move on and move forward, you have to acknowledge what's really going on in your life and what's really affecting you, so you know how to help yourself. So let's do an example with depression. Myself, I had to acknowledge that, my healing journey. So I had to acknowledge that I need to say bye to the old version of myself, and I had to acknowledge that I don't know this new version of myself. So I was feeling overwhelmed, very sensitive to certain things. Like, I'd let things get to me so much to the point where I'm crying and I feel like, oh, life's not worth living and stuff like that. I say that in the nicest way because that's how I really felt. So I really had to acknowledge, look, this is the new version of yourself. You're gonna like it, whether you like it or not. You have to accept it. My morals and values have now changed. My perception of certain things have changed. So I kind of had to get to know the new version of myself. It's like with grief. Once that person leaves your life, you're no longer the same person you was when they were alive. You're a new version of yourself, and you have to get to know that person to kind of move forward and live life. I feel like you will never forget them, and grief is something that you will never come to terms with. That's something I know that you will never come to terms with. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you will heal and you will. No, I feel like stuff like that, your heart will always yearn for them. I just feel like ensure that their memory lives on and you're doing everything you can to take care of yourself yeah, because I just feel like you have to make sure you put yourself first and ensure that you are becoming the best version of yourself, but ensuring that their memory does live on. So yeah, I just thought, why not share that story, because it did touch me. It did actually make me feel good when I was watching it. I just thought, like, such a young boy had to navigate so many things by himself, but also accept that people are loving him, so he needs to acknowledge, like, she loves me as well, you know, and his father loves him as well, but they're just going through a phase where they're learning to accept this person is no longer in their life. So Mahito, Shoichi and Natsuko, they're grieving in their own ways. So I feel like maybe they don't know how to comfort him, or maybe he was choosing to kind of, you know, when people go through things alone, he was just choosing to deal with it himself, because he just knew, like, his dad is grieving as well, and he doesn't want to add more things onto him, which I feel like, you know, if that's your dad and you know he loves you, because in the movie he says, this is my own flesh and blood, you better tell me who did this to you, because he was ready to, you know, catch a fade. But he took him out of school because he's like, if it's school, he paid the school, he took him out of school because like, my son is not going to be feeling like this, I don't want to see my son go through this, because he was going through it, and I didn't like that for him. I did not like that for him. I just feel like it's crazy how, because now you have to see it like this, I think it's crazy how kids go through grief, because he is a kid, he's 12, so I never actually thought about it. I'm like, no, kids may go through grief, but maybe they don't understand it well enough because they're young, and I feel like that is the case for most kids, that they don't know how to navigate grief, you know. So I feel like this movie would be a very good movie for kids to watch, to see the representation of how to deal with grief, because what Mahito was going through, he had to kind of acknowledge it. And when he went in the tower and saw the version of his mom and kind of get that time to spend with his mom again, it made him feel content, and he was kind of at peace with himself, like, okay, now I can fully let go and accept that my mother is not here, but her memories will live on in me, through me. But I do have people around me that love me. I have a piece of her sister, who's trying to be the best mother for him. So I feel like he came to terms with that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, because I did writing it and scripting it, so I do apologize if I do sound everywhere, but I'm trying, period. So I'm gonna do another one. If you guys like this one, I'm gonna do another one, but maybe not in the next episode, because I'm gonna talk about something else, because I got a lot to talk about. But thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Hop about that bed, till my swag on. Take a look in the mirror and say, what's up, what's up, what's up? Hey, I'm getting money. Oh, sorry, bye.